Welcome to Bohemian Rhapsody. I just love to wrap gifts and have decided to start a YouTube channel that's designated strictly to just taking the ordinary gift and just kind of kicking it up a notch with the embellishments to make it look beautiful. I always think the presentation of the gift is just as important as the gift itself. The one thing that I would say is just about ribbon. I often will buy kind of the cloth ribbon, and my favorite is the ribbon that has the wire in the edges. This one doesn't actually have wire in the edges, but it is a little bit stiffer, and the stiffer ribbon will always kind of hold the shape of your bows a little bit better, and so that's one of the things I always look for. One of the things I find is as you start kind of playing with the ribbon and playing with different materials, you sometimes will find that it's not even the prettiest materials that always are used to make a gift look great. Sometimes it's just the way that you combine them and use them together can really make a present look wonderful. So I'm going to just start with a very simple bow here. One of the things I notice often when I see gifts that maybe don't present as beautifully is that the bows are often very flat, and so I'll spend a lot of time just kind of playing with the bows, trying to create dimension. I always think the more dimension and the more kind of 3D it looks, the better the gift looks. The other thing I always find is that it's pretty just to leave it like this, but I always find that if I can add a little bit more, something small in the middle, it kind of helps to create just a little bit more interest. So some of my favorite things that I use, decorative metallic shredding, and it's actually I think designed to go into a gift bag, but I rarely use it for that. I will often just take kind of one strand, maybe two, and it is a bit staticky, so sometimes it's kind of tricky to use, but I'll often just take one or two strands. I love the metallic kind of iridescent look. And what it does is it just adds that little bit of shimmer to the middle. These here I collect. My sister-in-law always buys the Christmas crackers. At the end of the crackers they have these little ribbons with the little kind of ornaments on a wire. And I always ask everyone to pass them over, and I always use these embellishments for scrapbooking, for making cards, and one of my favorite ways to use them is when I'm gift wrapping. So I love to reuse things. You know, when I see these I think, oh, what a waste. I can totally use those for something else, to repurpose them. So all I'm doing is taking the ribbon from there, and I'm not even going to make a bow or anything. I'm just going to tie it straight, but again, this kind of ribbon has a little bit of stiffness to it, so it'll hold its shape, and sometimes it's just a matter of playing with it a bit. And then what I do is I just take my wire, and I'm just going to kind of, sometimes I might put it under the gift, and if you want it kind of a little bit tighter in there, or the other thing I will do is actually put it into the ribbon here, tie it in, and you might have to give it just a little bit of a twist to secure it. So I'm just going to kind of do another little knot here. And then if you twist your wire to hold it firmly, and then what I do is I'll just kind of twist it, and I just kind of move those balls around until I get the look that I want. And I find the little bit of iridescence with the present stuffing just adds a little bit of interest, as well as the extra little ribbon in the middle. Now you might find that you like a little bit more of this sparkle. There's nothing wrong with that. You could just do the same thing. You can just kind of add it in there, and it just gives a little bit of a shimmer, I guess. And again, you could just kind of twist your balls around to tie that in, or you could tie another little knot with your ribbon, but it will just sit in there securely, and there you have a beautiful gift. And it doesn't take much to just kind of kick it up a notch, and takes it from pretty to just really quite beautiful. And again, never feel like you can play with it too much, and sometimes it's just the way you get that sitting. So I hope that this gave you some good ideas for how you can make your presents look beautiful.